So in last video we discussed the concept of compound interest. In this video, let us try and figure out the general formula to calculate the compound interest. Now for this, what we're going to do is that we're going to take, say, principal, yeah, that's it, principal P that is invested at rate of interest R, and let's assume the time period is T. Time period is T. Now, when we say T, it means so we are going to calculate a general formula for any number of years. So it could be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years, so on and so forth. Now, what we do is that yeah, let me change the color now from here. Let's pick the red. Now, let's make sort of a table here. So this is the year. Then we make it principal. Then what we're going to do is that we're going to calculate the interest, and at the end it's the amount. Now say in first year our principal which we invested is P. Now what will be the interest? When I say interest, then we are going to calculate the simple interest for the first year, because you remember compound interest is nothing but an extended form of simple interest, wherein the simple interest we calculate over a period of time, and once the time period is over, we reinvest back that interest into the principal. So let's figure out what's the interest. If you remember the formula, it is principal into rate of interest into time. Now, what's the time which we are here? It's the first year. First year. Remember, we are taking first year. We're calculating it for first year, so it will be time period is going to be 1, and all this gets divided by 100. So, what is going to be the interest? It is P R over 100. Now, what is going to be interest? Amount. The amount is what? The principal plus the interest. So, what is the principal? It's the P. And what is the interest? P R over 100. Now, if we take P common, it becomes 1 plus R over 100. Bracket closed. Now, what are we doing here? This is the amount which we calculated at the end of the first year. And guess what? This amount becomes what? This amount becomes our principal for the, let me shorten the line here, a little long. Now this amount actually becomes the principal for next year. So in year 2, our principal is going to be what? Our principal is going to be P into 1 plus R over 100, right? Now what happens next? We're going to calculate the interest on this principal. So again, putting back in the same formula, where P gets replaced by R principal for the second year. So what is that? P 1 plus R over 100 and into rate of interest. Time continues to be 1 year and all gets divided by 100. I guess you were able to understand, right? Whether I divide this entire by 100 or whether I divide this by 100, it continues to be the same thing, right? Now, so what becomes the amount? Amount is this principal. Let me color it. Yeah, let's take yellow. Yeah, we're going to add this principal and this interest, which will give us the amount for the second year. Yeah. So if you see, we are adding this and this expression and this expression is identical. So when we add this and we can take this p into 1 plus r100 as common. So we write it like p 1 plus r over 100. I am doing this just because of the constraint of little space. Then it becomes what? When we take common from here, it becomes 1. And from here, what remains is plus r over 100. Now, just have a look at this. This term, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, not the p. It should not come under p. Yeah, this term and this term is same. So what we can do is that we can take, when the bases are same, the powers get added, right? So we can rewrite it as p into 1 plus r over 100 raised to power 2. Let's just have a look at this. When our time period is 1, now p into 1 plus r over 100, here also p into 1 plus r over 100. The only difference is here we have got power as 1, here we got power 2. So if you look at this, when the time period was 1 year, in the same expression, the power of 1 plus r over 100 was 1. When the time period is 2 years, the power becomes 2. I guess you can have a look at, you can look a pattern into it, right? But we'll still do it for one more year and then we'll see whether the pattern continues or not. Okay. Now what color should I take? Let me take, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's take red color. Okay. Now for third year. Now this is the amount, right? So this amount becomes principal for my third year. P into 1 plus r over 100 raised to power 2. Now again this becomes my principal. So when we calculate interest, this is principal into r. Time period again is 1 year because I am investing money for one more year from second. This is the amount which I calculate after second year. Now from second year to third year, that is for 1 year I am investing. All this will get divided by 100. Now what we do is that this is the principal, this is the interest. So what is going to be amount? Let me scroll it a little here. Yeah, this gives me a little bigger space to work with. Yeah, taking the same color again. Yeah, it is P1 plus R over 100 raised to power 2 plus, now since the term little here is into exponents, looks like a little complex. That's the reason I'm just doing one more step so that you get ample clarity that what we are trying to achieve. Yeah, okay, cool. P into 1 plus r over 100 raised to power 2 and r over 100. Correct? Now, so what do we do here? If you have a look at this expression and this expression, oh my god, again I have put it under P. Yeah, just confused a bit. So let us shorten it. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So this expression and this expression are identical. So what we can do is that we can take it outside, right? So we take whole, yeah, we had to take this P also outside there. 1 plus R over 100 raised to power 2. It is 1 plus R over 100. Now these two bases looks like same, right? 1 plus R over 100, 1 plus R over 100. So when the bases are same and they get multiplied, what happens to power? Correct, they do get added. So let's add them up. So it becomes P into 1 plus R over 100 raised to the power 3. Now I guess, we have got enough material on the basis of which we can do some sort of generalization. So this is the amount which we are getting after 3 years, right? White or black. Yeah, it is sounding as if I'm drawing some skeleton in a dark mist night. Forget it. Anyway, let's take a better color. Yeah, this seems to be okay. So this is the amount which we calculated after third year. Yeah. And what was the amount which we calculated after second year? This was the amount which we calculated after second year. Right? And after first year, what was the amount? This was the amount. Okay, so P into 1 plus R of 100 is common in all the three. The only thing is that the power of 1 plus R of 100 is changing. So when the time period is 1, the power is 1. The time period is 2, the power is 2. When the time period is 3, the power is 3. So we can continue for n number of years, but instead of that, let us generalize it here and write it. Yeah. So compound interest, mind you, it's not the amount, compound interest, no? It's the amount. So in compound interest, amount on principal P, pardon for that, yeah, principal P, I guess I've got good habit of writing R instead of P, yeah, yeah, at interest R, the amount at the end of n years is given by amount A is equal to P into 1 plus R over 100 raised to the power T. You may call it N, whatever. So here P is the principal, R is the rate of interest, and T is the time period. And mind you, here when we talk about T, that is time period, here it is the interest which is getting compounded annually. Now, when we say compounded annually, it means that whatever the interest which is going to get accrued every year. At the end of the year, the interest will get invested back along with the amount. Okay, so interest can be compounded quarterly. It could be compounded half yearly, or maybe any period of time, right? So in next subsequent videos, we are going to come on to that, what happens when the interest is getting compounded quarterly, or what happens when the interest is getting compounded half yearly. But as far as this video is concerned, we have given the formula when the interest is getting compounded annually. Now understand, this is the amount. So if the question comes that you have to find the interest, what you have to do is that you have to subtract. Subtract what? The principal, which is P. So this brings us to the end of this video. Hope you guys have understood. In subsequent videos, we're going to talk about the interest getting compounded quarterly and half yearly. Good day.